Hello and welcome to the Sunbirdcrochet podcast. My name is Claudia and I'm coming to you from a hot and humid Germany. I'm sitting in the coolest place of my flat, which is in my bedroom. That's why we've got the backlight today. It's also the most quiet place, and that's a good thing because up there the neighbor is actually playing his music. They have a garage and they are often training or practicing for their gigs. So yeah, just a minute ago they were rather having a good drumming session. I'm sweating like a pig, so to say. It's so hot here, you won't believe it. It's probably over 30 degrees in my bedroom even though it is the coolest place in my flat. But yeah, let's see how far I can get without combustion. Today I've got for you a finished object, some news about a work in progress and incoming. I've also have a rather extensive squirrel section today, so buckle up. But let's start with finished objects. It's right here. I've got two. This one you've seen before. That's my first pollen shawl. Yeah, maybe that backlight wasn't such a good idea. And just threw it down on the floor. That's my finished second sample, the pollen shawl. It's done. It's uploaded on Ravelry as a free download and as tutorials on YouTube. And yeah, it's done. I'm especially fond of that section here, which is called Romancing Mr. Bridgerton. That bit here with the border. That's really lovely. Yes, and I've had a lot of positive feedback, especially from Sylvia. Hi Sylvia! Thank you for supporting my pattern so much. She is already finished making her own pollen shawl. And I really love hers. I featured her photos on the pattern page, so please go and have a look. Her version is absolutely beautiful. I think you can make it your own version, and she wrote to me that she's thinking about making another one already, just using a bigger hook so that it's growing bigger. And yeah, you can see it's big enough for me, but I'm a very loose crocheter. There. But if you are a tight crocheter, you might want to go up a hook size anyway, like a 4 or even a 4.5, and that's with 4-ply fingering weight yarn. I'm also thinking about making a mild version of holding 2 strands of yarn together and then using a 5mm or maybe even a 6mm hook size. So that really would be a hugging shawl. Yeah, so that's done. That's finished. Done and dusted. Oh, and just to show you, this is my working copy, or was my working copy, and just the difference between the first version and the second version. I've made plenty of notes, as you can see, and especially here, I mean, I've made lots and lots of changes because something wasn't clear or I hadn't written down the number of repeats, and yeah. So it's a good thing if you make your own pattern after a while. And this is the finished pattern as it can be downloaded on Ravelry. And I also, because I'm aware of the problems, I have my own problems with Ravelry. So I've already uploaded it to the Mighty Networks group of the Crochet Clan. And it's a free download there as well. So the Crochet Clan Mighty Networks group is a free group. Anyone can join who would like to join for crochet and for chatting about crochet, and knitters welcome, of course, as well. So yeah, it somehow, I don't know how that could happen, but it's a whopping 12-page pattern. And right here at the end, the pattern consists of 8 parts, and I've written down the yardage for each part, so you know exactly how much yarn you will need for each part. So if you want to choose different colors, then you know, okay, I have so much of that color and I want to make it in like change the colors around. You can totally do that. That's also a reason why I made another version of a pollen shawl, so that I can actually write down how much yarn I've used. And since I'm such a loose crocheter, you are most likely even going to use less. But just to be on the safe side, let's say I used 45 gram, and then I wrote that you probably will need 50 gram. So you're on the safe side. Unless you are your gauge's monster. So yeah, that's done. Where shall I put this all? Floor. So yeah, then work in progress. It's my shoes. You know, I'm still working on the ribbons, and last night I've started making one, and it looks like this. It's a crochet I-cord. There is a pattern for it in a pattern which I've bought for the Heritage blanket, which is a pattern by Yulin, who is made by Yulin. And she's a South African designer, and she herself was actually linking to a YouTube video about this I-cord here. And I was wondering if this would be like thick and sturdy enough for going for my shoes. And if it's too long or not enough. So I think I will record myself fiddling this into the shoe, and then you can see what I'm doing with it. And if it's too long, I might even, I mean, it's quite a lot of I-cord, so I might just cut it here in the middle and secure the ends, and then I have like still probably enough for one shoe. So we will see. This is a copyright method for an I-cord. I can't really link it. Maybe you can find it by looking for PCIC, which stands for Perfect Crochet I-cord. And yeah, and there you can watch the tutorial. I don't remember if it was an unlisted video or what it was, but as I said, it was part of a heritage blanket pattern which I bought from Wallin. So yeah, let's have a look at this in a moment. I mean, for you it's now, but I will do this after recording this part. Floor. Now I've got, let's take just one shoe. There's like, have to poke this through here. Yeah, how am I going to do that? I think I'm going to take my hook, poke it through here somewhere. There you go. Going to poke it through here. There you go. Boop. Attached. And now, oh, maybe I should have checked if it's, we can still do that later. Okay, now through here, probably, yeah. Same length. Come on, shoes. There you go. We've attached that to the front. Now I'm going to thread it through here with my lovely hook. One and out again. Come on. Out again. And in again. And out again. And in again. And out again. I don't want to have it on the back of my foot, so let's do that here as well.
It's awkward, I'm not a lefty. In. Out. In. Out. Out again. Okay, then I can move it over.
And when I put it on, I just kind of cross it over here, move it onto the front, and tie it up. That should work, shouldn't it? Yeah, but actually works. Just a bit loose. The cord is too long. I had to put it up here. But yes, concept kind of works. Now, next, I've made a list. Yes, I did. Who am I even? So, whips. Illuminate sweater, you've seen that one. I've added a couple of more rows. Then I am about to frock the beginning of my Coventina cardigan. It's a lovely, nice texture and a wonderful pattern, but my yarn is dark blue and you can't really see the texture. So why really, like, it's a lot of work getting this texture right. It's interlocking crochet, so you instead of making a double crochet, you make a slip stitch into the side of a previous stitch, and then you pull the loops through there so that it's interlocked and you don't have such a holy fabric. But it's a lot of work and fiddly bit, and I can't work on it when it's dark. I need different yarn for it, so that's going to be frogged. I'm going to insert a video of it here as well, of me frogging the beginning of my Coventina. And Michelle, who is the designer, that's the Coventina is a design in Murid magazine issue 2, and it's as I said, it's beautiful. But yeah, I'm sorry, Michelle, but I will do it again one day with a lighter yarn so that I can actually see the effect. It's a lovely ripple effect, so yeah. But I wanted to mention it in my whips because you won't see it again. I've shown it before, but it won't make another appearance for the reason that I'm frogging it. So first of all, let me frog the Coventina, which will actually give me my 5mm hook bag. I haven't got that far into it. Well, let me just show you the lovely texture of it. It is really nice, because if you pull it, if you stretch it, there won't be any, you see, there won't be holes. It's quite nice for a garment, especially a top, because you won't see something popping out of it, which you don't want to show. So let's frog this quickly. I'll see you in a bit. Well, done. Let's move on to Squirrel. I've got a headline or a motto for the Squirrel section, because it's everything Art Deco and Nouveau. One is earlier than the other, and one is art, the other is fashion, I think, and architecture and stuff. So yeah. No, that's not good enough, Claudia. Let's do it properly. The difference between Art Nouveau and Art Deco explained. The difference between Art Deco and Art Nouveau is often confusing, whereas most people are vaguely familiar with the historical and stylistic developments of Art Nouveau and Art Deco in paintings and sculptures. Design movements in general receive much less attention. The main difference between the two: as a rule of thumb, Art Nouveau is the more organic style, whilst Art Deco tends to be more polished. That doesn't help me. However, they were established in different epochs with different motifs. See also the examples below. Yeah, great. So Art Nouveau, I have a vase here from about 1900, another vase from about 1900. So for many centuries, art academies dominated the general concept of art all over Western Europe. So painting and sculpture were therefore regarded as the highest forms of art, whereas design and the decorative arts were seen as lower forms, causing a widespread gap between the fine and applied arts. So, for instance, the Coca-Cola bottle is a nice example of applied Art Deco style, combining beauty and functionality in an everyday design. I think that's the original Coke bottle. And towards the end of the 19th century, after yet another neoclassical uprising, the desire to abandon these strict historical styles and hierarchies grew larger. At the same time, the Industrial Revolution had caused production to become highly mechanized. This in turn made artists seek out a revival of good craftsmanship. So the characteristics of Art Nouveau, that's a modernist movement. It's between 1890 and 1914, so the beginning of the First World War. So this here is a nice example for Art Nouveau, which is a bridge from 1890. Okay, so it's very playful. Artists drew their inspiration from organic and geometric forms. Art Nouveau designs were applied to a wide range of disciplines, from graphic arts to furniture, interior decoration, architecture, and the fine arts, exemplified at its best by Gustav Klimt's work. So Gustav Klimt, I'm sure you know him. That's one of his works. I love his work. He lived and worked in Vienna. And yeah, the Paris Exposition Universelle of 1900 gave Art Nouveau a major boost. It was held to celebrate the achievements of the past century and to accelerate development into the next, and displayed many technological innovations and the latest artworks. The fair, visited by nearly 50 million people, was a real record. So I believe that's a postcard. That's also when they built the Eiffel Tower. So there you see a postcard from Paris in 1900. Yeah, so in German, Art Nouveau has different names depending where you live. In Germany here, it's called Jugendstil, so youth style. And in Austria, it's called Sezessionsstil or Viennese Sezession. And in English-speaking countries, different terms were also used. Like in the United States, it was referred to as the Tiffany style. And in the United Kingdom, people also spoke of a Glasgow style. Yeah. So that's Art Nouveau. And then came Art Deco. Just before the First World War, Art Nouveau had already started to fade out, making way for a more modernistic aesthetic Art Deco. Decorative artists experienced a rise in status following the turn of the century. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Here is a sculpture from about 1925, which is called Nude Hoop Dancer. So this is Art Deco. Quite different. Art Deco truly embraced the influence of the Industrial Revolution. Art Deco designs were therefore more symmetrical and streamlined, attempting to make machine-made objects more aesthetically appealing to everybody. Examples are the Chrysler Building, designed by William of Allen. Or is it Allen? I'm not sure. So this is from 1930, the Chrysler Building in New York. And it was also adopted by designers and architects around the globe, like Cubists, notably Pablo Picasso and Georges Braque. Contrary to Art Nouveau, the definition of the Art Deco movement derived from a single source, the Exposition Internationale des Arts Décoratifs et Industriels Modernes, that took place in 1925 in France. In 1925, in France, Art Deco was referred to as style moderne. So it was a decorative art style during the 1920s and 1930s. So here's another sculpture from 1925, which is also a dancer. There you go. And yeah, and modern art replaces later than Art Deco. So Europe was hit by the Great Depression during the 1930s, and the average wealth plummeted, leaving many Art Deco enthusiasts to no longer be able to afford its rich materials, luxury items, and furniture. So Art Deco had a difficult time competing with modern architecture. And yeah, for instance, modern architecture like Le Corbusier, and in Germany here, Bauhaus. That's an art school. So the main difference between Art Nouveau and Art Deco has now become clear. First came Art Nouveau, which was playful, and then Art Deco, which was, yeah, like a more geometrical design. The Art Nouveau was all about organic and flowing forms. Then Art Deco is streamlining designs, reflecting glamour and industrial revolution. So there you go. I wanted to touch this the difference because I'm going to talk about crochet designs which remind me of Art Deco. And right here at the beginning, I've got two projects which were made by two viewers of this podcast. The first is Carol Wolf. I asked both of these, by the way, these ladies, if I could show their projects. So the first one, I wrote it down here. The first one is from Carol, and she is Wolf Crochet on Ravelry, and this is her mountain sweater. And you can see here, this very much reminds me of the style of a Chrysler building. And if you know the art by Tamara de Lempicka, she often has these Art Deco stylized buildings in the background. So this is a very lovely example. The designer of this crochet pattern is Mermaid Cat Designs, also on Ravelry. And this is a paid for pattern. I think Carol made a lovely, lovely top here. And I'm really tempted to make one myself. And thank you for letting me show your project, Carol. So this is the first one. Then I've asked Sylvia. She's Sylvia Fick. I'm putting her name up here on Ravelry, and she also allowed me to show her Fern Cowl. She made this as her Summer of Romance Cal project. You see, this is more playful, so I would put this as I would say this is more Art Nouveau than Art Deco. And isn't it a lovely, lovely poncho kind of thing? And this pattern is the Fern Cowl. The pattern designer is Claire Montgomery. And yes, this is also a paid for pattern. Thank you, Sylvia. Sylvia made my pollen shawl as well. The same Sylvia. So now I've got a couple more patterns. Some I've bought and some you will probably know already. And so let me go through the list here. First of all, there is a pattern which I've bought. This is a pattern by Mary Wallin, and it's the Aster top. I'm planning to make this, and the Aster top, I saw Emma from Potter and Bloom has made that, and also Clarissa from Crochet Cakes. She's made her own one as well. I've bought this pattern, I'm going to make it. Now the next one is a knitting pattern, but a free one. So I've downloaded it. This again is more Art Nouveau or Art Nouveau. It's the Scandens pullover. You can find it as a free download on Ravelry. And you know me, I'm probably going to make it in colorwork crochet. Yeah, so that's a lovely pattern and it's free if you haven't downloaded it already. Scandens. The designer is called Marie Amelie Designs. Then another free one, a crochet one, is called Lisbon. Again, more Art Nouveau. It's another, like a small poncho, but there is a user on Ravelry. Oh, this is a free design by Berroco. And the username, she's called Tasha82, and she called her top Snowflake. She made a top out of that poncho, and I really like the look of it. Now I wrote to her if I would be allowed to show her photo, but she hasn't replied. But if you go to Ravelry, if you can use Ravelry, then go to Tasha's site, go in projects and Tasha82, and there she is. And she made notes, extensive notes, how to turn this into a lovely top. It's the Lisbon by Berroco. Now then, I've bought another pattern. It's called Harmony by Yumiko Alexander. Her username is Dando. And let me see. There we are. It cost me $7 and it's also a very interesting lacy top. I don't want to show too much, but there it is. I think that's very interesting. It's quite lacy. You would have to wear something underneath like she's doing here in the photo. But I find this very intriguing. So this is more like Art Deco, I would say. And let me see. It has a stitch pattern as in explanation and photos, and there is a very huge chart as well. So I hope that I will be able to make this. This is the Harmony. Then I've bought another pattern, which is the Zigzag Blues by Yuliya Tkacheva, who's also Miss Weaver. And it's a cowl pattern. It looks like this. This is crochet, and I would say this is Art Deco style. And you can buy this. Let me just see. How much did I pay? £4.50. 4 British pounds 50 for the Zigzag Blues cowl. And then I've bought another one. Yes, I did. This is really like very extensive pattern, 23 pages. So many photos. And this is called Art Deco pillow cover. And it's beautiful. I had this on my wish list for absolute ages. And these are, I think this is like a texture which you can get by using post stitches, and yeah, I think I will try making a top using this pattern, because I've got plenty of cushions, so I don't need a cushion cover, but a top, just imagine, can you imagine a top with that? And just like small little sleeves, that would be great. So yes, that cost me $450 US. And then we've got, it's called the PhD Candidate by Dear Elgenu. And this is a knitting pattern, color work, and I really love it. And it's a free download as well on Ravelry. And again, probably I'm going to make this into a crochet colorwork sweater. So this is, again, not sure if it's more ArtDeco or Art Nouveau. Art Nouveau? Probably. It reminds me a bit of Mucha, Alphonse Mucha. This is about everything I've bought. I've got 2 more things I would like to show you. Oh, and I've also bought another. I've bought the crochet shawl book by the Crochet Project. They had a special on for the book number 2, and on the 19th they will have a special for book number 3 of their shawl patterns, and it was half price. So yeah, like 5 or 6 shawl patterns for £5. That was a bargain. But I digress. I just would like to show you a couple more designs. They're both knitting, but I feel inspired turning this into a crochet design somehow, sometime, somewhere in space. So this is the first one. I really love this texture, and I have ideas how to get this. It actually reminds me of that design in Murid magazine issue 1. Yeah, I think this would be beautiful in crochet. And then I've also seen something which really reminds me of architecture style, Art Deco architecture. So this is also a knitted sweater, and yeah, why not making this in like a mulled pullover in crochet, in moss stitch maybe. Ah, you see, plants. Yeah, so just some other designs which I would like to mention here, which reminded me of Art Deco or Art Nouveau, depending. So it's the Pinetum or Pinetum shawl by the Shawl Project. It's part of book 2. Book 2 usually costs £12 and I paid 6. So yeah, Pinetum is designed by Kat Golden, and it's lovely. It's just lovely. I would like to turn this into a top as well. Then there is the Kaleidoscope blanket by Jane Crowfoot. That's a paid for pattern as well. I didn't ask any one of these designers if I could use their pictures. So I will just say the names and just Google them and you will find them. So then there is the Finery top by Linda Skuja. She's very well known for her crochet tops. And the Finery top is a paid for pattern which costs €7.99. And if you look it up, I'm sure you've seen it before. It's a beautiful pattern, similar to the one which Carol made here, like this. But this is with filet crochet or lacework crochet, and the Finery top is with colorwork. so color changes. Then there is the Cosmetic Bag by Wow Crochet Design. I bought this pattern, it's in my queue on Ravelry, and it's a lovely Art Deco style graphic pattern. Then there is the Waves Poncho by Sitzel Sangled. That's also a paid for pattern. Then there is the Modern Art Sweater. That's the one I've shown you here. I think it's this one here. That one. And this is a paid for knitting pattern. But as I said, just the look, I like the look of it. I don't want to knit it, I want to crochet it. And then talked about this one. Then a very well-known pattern, which also has a diamond-shaped or triangular pattern, which goes into the Art Deco direction, is the Frida Shawl or Shawl by Air Crochet. And I've made that one. And then there is another knitting pattern, the Rockefeller Shawl by Mr. Stephen West. That pattern costs €7.14, and it's another example of Art Deco. And I think that's it. That's all my Art Deco inspirations, plans, and pattern suggestions. I think I will show you what I've received in the meantime. All the incoming stuff, you've seen some of the patterns which I've bought, but now let's talk about yarny things and everything around it. First of all, my yarn order arrived from John Urban Textiles. They gave me a bag from the Mill Fork, the open weekend. Yeah, and there's a button on it as well. I didn't think I would get it. You see, I won the £20 voucher. I talked about it last time. I won a £20 voucher, and I've ordered quite a lot. Obviously more than the £20. Let me just see. I've bought, it's all Yarnadelic, and the first one I've got 2 times the shade We Love You, 2 times the shade Indigo Dust, and 1 Woman in Blue. That's what I've bought. The shipping wasn't too bad. It was only £6.50 for the shipping. So, yeah, not too bad. Let me show you the shades. This is their card, by the way. John Urban Textiles. They are up in Exmoor. And there's a nice message here from Jeanette. Yeah, so... Ooh. First, the brood, the special. It's called We Love You. It's a lovely green. Can you see that? Maybe I hold it here, then you can see it better. We love you. See the fuzz. And then Indigo Dust, which, I mean, oh, loving it. There's a bit of fluff. Isn't it great? 2 of those. And 1 Woman in Blue. Beautiful. So these 3 colors. I've got plans. Yeah, so that's the first incoming. I've got more yarn as well from a German hand dyer. I talked about her before. I bought yarn from her for my last Stephen West Knits shawl, the shawlography from last autumn. And that's her. That's Punk Rock Unicorn. And guess what? She is now selling her yarn in Amsterdam in Stephen and Penelope's shop in Amsterdam. So they took her on. Strick, strick, hurrah! She's quite, she's mainly focused on knitting designs, but maybe one of these days I'm going to suggest some crochet designs to her. She will be, this weekend, she will be in Düsseldorf on the Wool Festival. And I had wished to meet her, but I'm probably not going after all this weekend. But anyhow, if you see her anywhere on any wool festival, she's one cool woman. Yeah, Punk Rock Unicorn, and her yarn is wonderful. As I said, I've ordered some yarn from her, and she sent me that sticker, and also something like something which you can use for keeping track of your projects. So this is like a project card. You write the name of your project, the yarn base you're using, the colorway, your gauge, how much you've used, your hook size or needle size, and then you can actually put your swatch here on that square. And on the back you can say when you've started the project, when you've finished it, any notes on it. Yeah. So she sent me this. I might copy this and use it in future. Or I might even scan it and use it digitally. How about that? I mean, I can't digitally glue anything on it, but we will see. So I think that was a nice touch. She always gives extra stickers and stuff like that. So the yarn which I've ordered with her lives in this lovely bag, which is a Pomegranate Bag. I've got this bag from an Etsy shop, and it cost me a little bit more than 10 euros, something between, I think 15 euros, I'm not sure anymore. But it's a shopping bag, it's fully lined, and it's the same designer where I've bought the hair bag and the bag where I imagined being in the UK with a cup of tea and the Cocker Spaniel running around on the lawn. Yeah. Anyhow, I've bought that. As I said, I've bought that bag, and I've bought another one, and that was 10 euros. This is this lovely bag. It's a drawstring bag. On the one hand is a grey parrot on the one side, and the other side, yeah, has a hummingbird or colibri or whatever you want to call it. So I obviously had to get it. It's lined, and yeah, so I'm not sure if I will keep it or if it will be a prize. We will see. Back to the yarn from Punk Rock Unicorn. Oh, and by the way, since she's selling her yarn now in Amsterdam via Mr. West, her yarn there is very pricey. You pay something like 35 euros. As a hint or tip, rather than buying it in Amsterdam, buy from her directly, because if you buy from her directly, it costs 23.90 euros, so a whopping 12 euros or 11 euros reduced price compared to Amsterdam. Anyhow, I've provided myself with the right yarn for the next West Knits MCAL. So what we've got is, cover your eyes, shade your eyes. It's mega pink. Mega pink it is. Then we've got Boudoir. Boudoir. Then we've got Neon Peach. Can she hold it? Yes, she can. Then we've got Clam. Clam. Can she still hold it? Yes, she can. And last but not least, we've got Sage. So I'm not sure how to combine it. I mean, I love this combination. Yes, I do. I also love I love it all. I love it all. I love this combination. I also love this combination. But as we know, Mr. West, I will probably need all 5 colors. I might combine or swap one of these. Maybe I take the orange of a neon out. I'm not sure. Or maybe the sage. Oh, no. Sage is that one. That was Clam. Maybe just these with a different color, brownish, beigey type color. I will see. But I love, love, love her yarn. And this is on her base called Cody. No, I lie. This is on her base called Soul. 100 gram is 85% merino, 15% nylon, and it's 400 meters per 100 gram. You need a hook size or needle size 2.5 to 4 millimeter. And it's superwash. Superwash. Yeah, so that's not all, because I've been in Leverkusen in a shop and they had a special, and I've bought 2 balls of leftover rowan yarn mohair Kitzel case, which was reduced price, still quite pricey, but as I say, it's rowan kid silk and it's lovely, and I'm sure I will make use of these 2 skeins here by Rowan. Fluff. Oh, look at this. Yeah? Too much yarn. Good thing I don't go to Wool Festival in Düsseldorf on Sunday. But I might take you to a local craft market on Sunday. It's just up the road. We will see. So, yeah. No, I haven't won the lottery. I'm just treating myself like a queen. A wool queen. So, what else can we talk about? There are my notes. This is all incoming except my wonderful Georgian hat. I've got plans. I've got plans about historical romance. I'll be serious, Claudia. Let's move on to chat. First of all, you can now order Murid Magazine issue 3, which has everything cosmic in it. And there are a couple of patterns which I've already kind of eyed out, kind of made a note and might have thoughts about the yarn already. So it's Ginon or Ginon? by Abby Made. It's a sweater in Tunisian crochet, and it's like a part of the yarn is in a different color, and when you reach that color, you make a bubble. And then on the return pass, you don't make the bubble, and that looks then like a comet tail, or like a wishing star, a falling star. I rather liked that idea. Then there is the sweater Astronomia by Sandra Gutierrez, my all-time favorite crochet designer, or one of them. Yeah, and then there is like a dickie, like a short poncho, which is called Solvent by Deanne Ramsey, who's Eddie Day Designs. She's from Australia, and so is Abby Made, by the way. So at least two Australian designers in Murid issue 3. And Solvent really looks modern and contemporary, and I can easily see myself turning this into a sweater. And then, of course, the lovely Arcus cardigan. The designer is Liv Steffem. And yeah, it's perfect. It's a cropped cardi, and it looks perfect for a dress. So these are the ones. I mean, there are more. There are definitely more designs in there and patterns. But these are the 1, 2, 3, 4 designs which really stood out for me. Yeah, so Murid magazine issue 3. Have you ordered yours already? I have. Then, yeah, I'm already busily planning my crochet projects for this autumn. For Halloween, I feel the spirit. I have an idea for a cabled pumpkin in crochet, like a mild cabled pumpkin pattern. Maybe tomorrow I will have forgotten about it, but tonight I'm definitely thinking about writing up another pattern. Yeah, or like a vampire cat, making a cat and then embroidering some really small cheeky teeth, vampire teeth in there, well, maybe. Yeah, I might talk about this in the next episode. All the autumnal and projects and patterns for fall. Yeah. Quite dark, isn't it? Talking about dark, I've been watching season 2 of Only Murders in the Building. I really enjoy this series. Are you watching it? It's all happening in New York, present New York, and there is an old building and the people who are living in the building in the different flats. In season 1 there had been a murder, and in season 1 ended with another murder, which is now being investigated by the same few people who are podcast creators, and they are podcasting about their murder investigations. And it stars Martin Short and Steve Martin. And I really enjoy it. I enjoy watching it. And it's not just 2 senior actors with a young actress. It's actually quite, it's funny at times, and it's also quite thrilling at times. So I'm really enjoying that. And if you're watching it, what's your guess who's the murderer of Bunny Folger? Comments down below. Yeah, and what else? I'm filming already for over an hour. And maybe you can hear in the background, they're drumming again. So I might just end this episode now, because I still have to go into the garden, water the plants. And there are a couple of things I still need to do as well. But, oh, one more thing. On a rather sad note, Faye is running the Crochet Circle podcast, or was running the Circle Crochet podcast until now. She announced that she will have her last episode in September. And I know she wants to do something new, something exciting, something a little bit different. Still crochet. She's going to talk about it soonish, I suppose. But I'm still a little bit sad that she's not going to have her podcast anymore. I'm going to miss her episodes. They came out monthly and they're still going to be watchable from the past, but there won't be any more new episodes. And the same with her, well, she had her Patreon account and an extra Zoom meeting monthly for her patrons, and she will cease to run that as well. So, but on a good note, she will still host her free-for-all monthly global hookups, also a Zoom meeting, and we're going to meet up there from all over the world. We are all the crocheters, and we're going to chat about crochet and all kind of things. So this is to stay, at least that. And who knows what she's going to shake out of her sleeve next. Definitely something crochet-wise. And yeah, I'm still on my forever discovery journey of other crochet podcasts. If you are thinking about starting your own podcast, then please do. There can't be enough crochet podcasts out there in the world. Let me just finish this off, and I'm going to see you soon anyway. Keep safe, keep healthy. Laugh a lot. That's healthy. Bye, see you next time. And thank you again, Carol and Sylvia, for letting me use your project photos. They are really gorgeous. Bye! P.S. I nearly forgot. My mugs have arrived. That's the hair mug. That's the owl mug. And that's the sheep mug. I've got two of the sheep mugs. They're not very big. They're white on the other side. So if you are a lefty, then it's perfect for showing the design to others. And if you're a righty, you can look at it yourself. So yeah, mugs. Maybe I will add one of the sheep mugs into the giveaway.